Alrighty, I am live, it says, and it's not lying. The Ramsey Show just ended over on the YouTube. Oh, this is still YouTube. Over on his channel. And what's up, Bill? I got some stuff for you. It's coming. I'm not frozen. Am I frozen for anybody else? Just waiting a minute or so for some more people to get into the chat. Thanks, Flash. All right, Bill, I'll try to get to your stuff quickly. Oh, let's pull up notes. All righty. Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday. Do 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 do. Live from Columbus, OH. It's the Ramsey Show Aftershow, where we talk about the Ramsey Show YouTube Chat, and the people in it, and all things financial. I'm your host, Coach Steve Money, and you can schedule a free coaching consultation assessment by emailing your contact info to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. You can also reach me on the Instagram, add me on the Grom at Coach Steve Money, no spaces. If you'd like to donate to the channel so I can make it better, send to coachstevemoney@gmail.com via PayPal. And let's see, let me skip ahead since Bill has to leave for some important reason. Oh, let's see. Okay, Bill. Forgot to tell you yesterday, you don't cash out a fund or buy a fund based on what happened yesterday, the past week, the past month, or even the past year. And I got a little comparison for you of the fund that you supposedly cashed out of. In the past week, the Fidelity Blue Chip Growth Fund is -4 and change percent. The VTSAX is -0.67. That's in the past week. 13 weeks is VTSAX is up 5%. Fidelity Blue Chip is down 5%. The year to date, 11.37% for VTSAX and 3.7% for the Fidelity Blue Chip. The 1 year, though, VTSAX at 48 and change. Fidelity Blue Chip, 60 and change. 3 year is, and these will be with VTSA, the Vanguard, which is the Vanguard TSM index. It's VTSAX. 3 years, 17 and change percent, and Fidelity will be the second number for the rest of these, and that's 60% and change. No, that's 1 year. Okay, the 3 year is 17 versus 27. The 5 year is 17 versus 26, and the 10 year is 14 versus 18. So this is why we don't do that. And also, if you look at today's, results from the market, the Nasdaq, of which is more closely related to the Fidelity fund, almost finished even, whereas the Dow Jones, which is the index, the total market fund, which is the index of that Vanguard, it went down the most of any index. So there you go. So if you were judging it by today, if you can listen to that and you still think that Vanguard fund is better, Bill, good luck, sir. But yeah, so that's how that works. So yeah, you got to go. You got to go. David's recommendations is that the fund have at least a 10-year track record, and so that's what you need to be looking at: the 10 or more years of track record. And you don't VT. It's not better, Bill. Quit telling them lies in my chat. Do not tell those lies. It has been better for the past year to date. That's about it. And the year to date doesn't mean anything. It does have a 10-year track record, and I told you the 10-year track record. It has made less than the Fidelity Blue Chip Fund that you got out of. It has made less, Bill. All right. Good day, Bill. Have fun doing your whatever you have to run off to do. Maybe work. Maybe you got a part-time job. Let's see. Today's hosts were Dave Ramsey in the CW, Christy Wright, the business expert. They announced the Entree Leadership Summit next week in Dallas. They didn't announce it, but they talked about it next week in Dallas, 16th through the 19th. And Christy's Business Boutique is in October 14th through the 16th in Nashville, Tennessee. I didn't hear any dadgums today, but there were 2 todays. $10 book sale through May 31st on the Ramsey Solutions website. I recommend Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey and Debt Free Degree by Anthony O'Neill. Gave it the market report. As I said, everything was down a little. The NASDAQ finished almost even. It was up for a little while near the end there, but all the other indexes, including the total market, which was the Dow Jones Industrial Average, that was the worst one. That finished way down. All righty then. Anybody? Bill, you're stupid. And you're hidden. All righty. So he's telling lies. Granted, none of us know exactly what will happen tomorrow or in 10 years, but based on the history, there's no question between those 2 funds. I have killed my notes. There they are. All righty. Is there any questions today? Any questions? Any comments today? Sydney thinks it's a bad plan, but says maybe Bill is the one person it will work for. Excellent, excellent. Yes, Joy, I hit him from the chat, which basically means he's banned from chatting. He can still watch, though, and I hope he does. I need the hours watched. Joy has a quick question. That's awesome. Did you ever fix your internet, Joy? Did you ever figure out what was wrong with it? You can tell me about that tomorrow. Go ahead and ask your question. What do I have? I have a P&G. Procter & Gamble is a single company. Oh, where's my email? Hope you're enjoying looking at the side of my ear. Oh, here it is. All right. Okay. Anybody anybody else have? You don't have Oh, okay. Yeah. Procter & Gamble is P&G, as far as I know, unless it stands for something else. I hope yeah, they do diapers and all that. Yes, they do. And they're a big, huge company. Their stock may be okay, but you know the deal. We don't do single stocks. I'm sure they are well represented in several mutual funds. Oh, also, what I forgot to tell Bill, okay, it just needed to be restarted. Great, Joy. That's the first thing to try. If anything computer wise is not working, you reboot it, or power cycle, which means turning it completely off, even if you have to unplug it and then plug it back in, turn it back on. So yep, so no go. But yeah, you can certainly they would certainly be in if you get all of the recommended categories of mutual funds. They would almost certainly be in there. Let's see. What did I? What? Oh, I do. Oh, there was one more thing I was going to tell Bill, but I got distracted by your question. Maybe I can think about it. Oh, here's what I was going to tell Bill. I also looked at the top of those two funds that we were comparing. I also looked at the top 20 items, the top 20 stocks in those mutual funds, in both of them. They're the same ones, almost like 18 of the top 20 in each are the same ones, and they match. So that's part of what she's here for. Yes, that much is certain. So I have some other segments, though. I was just trying to think if I said everything I wanted to say about that. Sorry. Oh yeah. They're the same funds in there. Now the full market index fund is going to have probably like more different types of, and less of the like the top stocks like Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, et cetera, et cetera. They probably will have a lesser percentage of those. And more stocks represented in them. But as I say, if his fund went down more today than the Fidelity blue chip one went down yesterday. So if he was looking at it today, then he would have dumped the other one. If he's being logical and following, the same deal for both funds. So, but that's that. That's what I wanted to say. Now I'm good. Judy Pine says, thanks for explaining that power up this morning. Yes, I explained what power cycle was because Joy's internet was out. And strangely, she was on data. Talking of it. My favorite segment of the show today, I always like the debt-free screams, especially when it's basically babies doing them, like the 20-year-olds that were doing. I think 23, and the guy was a little bit older. The couple, and that's awesome. AJ says, sorry I'm late. AJ, better late than never, sir. I appreciate it so much. That's right, I owed, AJ says. All right, Kelly G and I talked about Wet Hot American Summer, which is a comedy. It was a movie at first, and then since then they have made, I think, 2 seasons on Netflix of the show, and it is like, I want to say it's like 10 years in between them or something like that, and they just played the same ages. They were already not the too old to play those parts, but that was part of the fun of it. So I do recommend that, and those are, I think, still on the Netflix, so you can check that out. I'm gonna have my new, another segment right here. But if you do have any comments or questions, I think there's a way that I can use my phone as a webcam. So I try to test to try to use that, and it looks a whole lot better than this this camera does, even though it was broadcasting at 720p, the same resolution. But the problem was that it picks up ambient noise too much. But I'm going to try that, because you can supposedly use it as use a phone cam as a webcam, and then I could actually use Windows 10 to broadcast live, because that was another thing with doing it straight from the phone through a third-party Streamlabs OBS, which is I forget again what it is. What is it? Open source broadcasting system or something like that? Open broadcasting system, I think. And it does it, but it puts the live stream into the unlisted category, so nobody would be able to find it. So there's no way to change. There's no way to get around the requirements that I be at monetized level before they let you live stream using a phone. So, but we'll see if I can go around that by using it as a webcam that Windows recognizes. Any comments or any questions? Go ahead and type them in while I talk about this. Sorry if you have to see the side of my head. I guess I could move that over. There we go. Technology, huh? This is a email in the financial peace community. I get these like every week since I led FPU, or maybe you get them even if you've done FPU. But this lady says she started the FPU experience this week. I love learning and taking notes, so I've watched several of the videos. I will watch them over and over because I get something new each time. My favorite saying was "Ish is a wish." This week, in talking with my husband, we have had so many emotional moments. We discussed with family about our decision and how it will impact them due to canceling several streaming services that are shared among the family. Staying home more, not spending extra money until we are debt-free. I've been told by so many people, though, to keep one credit card so you have it for an emergency. I do not think my family is understanding what being debt-free means. I do not think it means what you think it means. I explained the baby steps and how we will never truly get debt-free if we keep even one credit card. Instead of reaching for the emergency funds in an emergency, we would reach for that card, and that will keep us in the cycle. They get so mad, they are dumbfounded at this. I am flabbergasted at their proposal. We are talking to you about becoming 100% debt-free, and you are telling us to remain in debt for emergencies. My husband is hesitant, but beginning to get on board with the idea. I truly hope that our family begins to see our changes and will stop telling us to do things that will never help. I just thought that was cool. If you have any thoughts about that, you can certainly share them in the chat. But I thought that was really cool, and it's really true. If you're not doing it, if you're not doing this stuff, if other people aren't doing it, they don't get it. They really don't get it. I mean, I'm sure there's a few people out of there that grasp the concept more and might be open to it, even though they're not doing it themselves. But most of the time, it's just so ingrained to use a credit card and do debt leverage, even though they have no idea what debt leverage is. But they still do it. You'll always have a car payment, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All righty. Is that all I got? Yeah, that's all I got. But that did take us to the 6:22 minute. Let's see. Did I ever find lunch? I saw earlier I wanted City Barbecue. Any luck? No, I was not ever going to get that. I was just curious as to how much that cost. And then I clicked so I could see what it costs. I clicked order now on there, and then it proceeded to open up like 8,000 tabs on my browser. So I had to close my browser, and and I unsubscribed from it. Probably just a typo or mistake or something like that on there. Probably their email wasn't hacked, but you never know. Sydney says in response to that email, Black Friday, emergency. Disney Cruise exclusive offer, emergency. That's funny. Funny, Sid. Joy says that's amazing. Be all in. Love that they didn't let the family sway them. And who knows, fam may jump on board eventually. Yes, they will, Joy. In your world, in your overly optimistic world, that's right. Everything always works out like that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Not making fun of you. I appreciate that quality about you. Flash says the only person that gets a vote besides your husband is the people you allow to have a vote. Yeah, they don't get to influence your debt-free journey. So good for them. That's right. That's how it works. But yeah, that's why the Ramsey Show chat is such a good place to hang out if you can, if you're doing these steps, because we all understand. So we're not we don't only understand what you're doing. We're encouraging for that kind of behavior when you're talking about canceling subscriptions and such. I mean, I know some of your family might not want to pay for Disney Plus themselves, but that's too bad. Yeah, I mean, you got to take care of yourself. And Disney Plus is definitely not a emergency or a need. Anybody got anything else? I have just talked way too fast today, because I even had more segments written down today, and it's still about the same point in the show. Sydney, you must have some thoughts about things, about something. AJ says, or is it? I hear that Bad Batch is pretty good. Might be a need. It might be, AJ, but you can. I still wouldn't go as far as call it a need, but you could perhaps find somebody else that has that. Cindy says she always has some thoughts about things. Well, what would be the top one that's suitable for this show? AJ gasped when I said that. I mean, definitely support the mouse. I mean, you don't want any of those people to go hungry tonight. So definitely support the mouse. I mean, they only own everything. Marvel. I think they own Coca-Cola as well, I believe. And they are definitely represented in the Fidelity Blue Chip Growth Fund. Probably in the other one too. You're stupid, Bill. Had to hide him again. He signed back on. I thought he had to go somewhere. Guess not. Perhaps that was just a ruse, like so many other. It's the same. It's the same one. How do I know it's him? Because he mentioned the same fund, first of all, and second of all, he was still unhidden. I mean, he was still unhidden, and when I checked to hide him again. And why is that? Sid, having trouble remoting after last depressed session. Yeah, but I picked it up on the context clues about what he was talking about, and also he's the only one that's hidden from this chat. So although I hit him, though, apparently that runs out. Looks like, or if they change the name, it confuses it or something. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. So, I mean, poor Bill. And again, I don't know if any of it's true. I mean, he has a lot of details, so you would think it'd be pretty stupid for somebody to go online and make up a whole life just to troll. But it happens, I guess. I guess. Oh, what usually, Sid? What usually gets you out of when you're depressed? What normally gets you out of that and remotivates you? That's right, Joe. I'm putting the clues together. Also, Joy, he spelled my name wrong. He spelled it Simspon, fan. So he has worn out his welcome here finally. Again, he's not. He just can't chat. Supposedly, we'll see about if the name changing. That would explain though why so many come back. So if they can circumvent that by just changing their name, that would explain how so many come back on the Ramsey chat. One exam, but it's like Sydney says, one exam, but it's like $600. I'm having trouble believing that the time and effort will be worth it. Just depends if that can get you, a better job. 600 isn't that much. Joy, Bill doesn't know how to not troll. I mean, the just the fact that he came back in here and he made it a point to say that he was doing the exact opposite of what I recommended and what I said Dave recommended. It's the same thing on the Ramsey chat when people do that about, it's like, why would you bother doing that? Just go somewhere where people think like you do. Although I don't know that there's I don't know necessarily there's a YouTube chat for that, where there's all trolls in there. Could you imagine? Crazy. The weather flash, it's still been chilly in the mornings. It been quite as cold in the mornings as it was originally forecast for. It was supposed to be close to freezing again. But yeah, this week it's still pretty chilly. It's like around 40 degrees at 4 a.m. When I wake up. But it gets up sometimes to like 60, 70. Sydney says, yeah, the average income for a PM, that's project manager, in her area is about 2 times what I make now. Average in the country is 4 times what I make now. So if I get a job, it should pay off. And from what I know about you, you would probably get a job. But you don't have any experience leading a team in project management. That's a huge part of it, I see, based on the exam. And her hubs isn't totes into spending. I said totes, she didn't. Into spending the money for the cert. Yeah, I get that. It could be your fun money, Sid, for the next X amount of time. That matches his fun money. Don't take less fun money. Just match it to his fun money. And for that much time, don't have any. That's a thought. Joy says she's leading the chat. Doesn't that count? I would give her a recommendation letter. Absolutely, I would. Good idea, Joy. You've haven't you had to lead, Sid, haven't you had to lead the guys that like don't they have to like report back to you kind of or something like that? You do stuff like that. 15 months of no fund money to pay for the exam. Well, that's going to be up to you though. But if you think you could, I think leading the chat's not a project. You're not getting paid for it, so it might be a project. Joy thinks that counts, Sid. Just to let you know, and so do I. So, I mean, you got to make your own decision. I came this close to not to operations. I don't know. I think there's some wiggle room in there that it could be considered either. Joe said lead FPU as well, and then that's leading something. Sydney has experience with solo projects, just not team projects. I don't know, Sid. I think you would be able to get a job and make more money. Because you probably get away from where you're working at now because they don't value you apparently. So, yeah, there's no end date. There's no end date here. I would change the time if something happened with my employment. I would do it at a different time. I would still do it. So yeah, there's no end date on this. There is an end date on FPU if you lead FPU though, and then you could cite that. But yeah, you got to make that decision. I almost didn't do the coaches training. And I don't have any clients from that, so it's not paying off so far, but I think eventually it will. That's right, Joy. Joy points out that even if you have not taken Financial Peace University before, if you lead it, that's basically like you getting to take it, and you get to take it for free. So it doesn't cost you anything. Joy says, "Aren't you glad you did, Coach Money?" Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because if I hadn't just done it that second when I felt compelled to do so and felt optimistic about it, I had an optimistic moment. Of course, I'm very optimistic. More optimistic than most people, but not more than you, Joy. So, if I hadn't done it then, probably none of this would have happened, because doing that is when I thought, well, YouTube would be a great way to promote coaching. So why not do that too? All this talk we did, Troy Story and I haven't seen him in a while. Shout out Troy Story. About doing an after show. All that talk we did, and I never thought it would ever happen, and it's happening, and I love it. It's awesome. I mean, I know it's very amateur. I know there's no pictures on the walls here. There's no background effects. There's no things. All that stuff will come. There's no like little words on the screen, etc., etc. So, Flash wishes Sydney luck. Sid says, I have like 40 out of 36 months required for the experience needed. They don't require team projects versus solo projects. That's more of a potential hiring block than an exam block. Yeah. Flash says, Ken Coleman, author of Prox Prince, the proximity principle, always says, follow your heart, Joy, your head. Yeah, right. Make the decision based on what you feel is right. Follow your heart, not your head. And her autocorrect changed. Not to joy. That's fun. All righty. Anybody got anything else for today? I do recommend the Bad Batch. I've only seen the first episode. 2 of them are out, but we are going to. Another one comes out I think Friday is when it comes out, so there will be 2 to watch. The first episode is an hour and 7 minutes long, so they're not playing. But all the ones after this, I think, are going to be like in the 22-minute range, which is normal for a 30-minute show with commercials. So my son and I are going to watch it this coming Saturday, probably, or Sunday. Sid says, pretty easy for him to say that with a 2 livable income house. If I follow my heart, we will have to live on less than $1,000 per month till I luck into a job. Yep, that's even keeping this job until you would get hired, Sid. AJ says they all died in episode 2. Talk about a troll. I'm lucky I don't hide him. Joe says synchronized popcorn, put honey on it. It's delish. If you can keep this job. When does your contract run out, Sid? I'm not going to ban you, AJ. It would take more than that. Trust me. You saw how long I let Bill hang around. But he was, yeah. All your main characters can't die in episode 2. I think that's pretty much a rule. Contract currently expires in September. How long, if you take the exam, how long, is that it for certification? So like you could be done in a month and then until September is how many months? I did not know there was going to be math today. Let's see. That's what is next month? Today's 6 months. So 6 to 9. So that's 3 months. So if you had a certification next week after, something like that, I think you could get a different job in 3 months, Sid. Based on what I know about you, I think you would have something, even if it wasn't in the field you got the certification for. That was me coughing. The sound before that was not a bodily function. It was my phone. I forgot to mute it. Joyce says, or less. She's awesome. Yeah, but she's pretty awesome. I think she could find something in her. Oh, that's why I have the water here. In the Diet Coke bottle. All right. Well, unless anybody has some last thoughts. Coughing a lot. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up then. I appreciate each and every one of you. Joe says Diet Coke. Come on, come sponsor this man. I would listen to her. Sid, I'll try not to die. She wishes that I don't die. AJ says, take care, everyone. Be good. Flash says, have a great night, everyone. Now I'm just reading the chat. So compelling. All right. Well, once again, you can hire me and I can cough directly to you. You can get a free, don't even have to hire me, you can get it free, a free coaching consultation assessment Financial coaching, that is. I don't do football. You're on your own for that, or any other kind of sport. But I do financial coaching, and you get a free consultation assessment by emailing me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com, and you can get me on the Instagram at Coach Steve Money, no spaces. And you can also donate to the channel to make it better, and it needs to get better. I agree with you 100%. You can email coachstevemoney@gmail.com via PayPal. You go on PayPal and you put in that email address, and then that will get to me minus PayPal's fees, which I'll be happy to pay for, because until I get monetized on YouTube, there's no super chats. So that's pretty much it. You got to go through a different source until then. Thanks for typing that in, Sid. Adios, Joy. And peace to you too, Joy. And we're out.